Welcome in our first guest today, Steve Weiser, the Executive Director of the Erie Philharmonic, joins us now to talk about the In Your Hometown free concert music series. Hi, Steve.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Great. Nice to have you today.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about this.
So one of the things we learned from COVID is we wanted to find ways to bring music to our audience outside of the Warner Theater. So we created this summer series a few years ago, and it's one of the things we've really kept going. So this year, starting on next Wednesday, on June 28th, all the way through August 7th, we have 8 free concerts all across the region. So we'll be kind of going up and down the 79 corridor and then out to Corey. So we'll be in Northeast, Meadville, Corey, Titusville, Pleasant Ridge Park, and Fairview, and downtown at Gridley Park. So we're kind of all over the map with these free concerts.
Yeah,
that's great.
And the first one is in Northeast.
Exactly. The first one is in Northeast on June 28th. That's a string quartet. And then when you jump ahead to the middle of July, we actually get the full orchestra together. And July 12, 13, and 14, an orchestra will do a free concert out in Northeast, out in Corey, and then down in Meadville. Wow. And then the very end of July, beginning of August, we have a huge brass band we get together with 15 brass instruments. And they do jazz, Sousa marches, patriotic themes, and they'll be again in Northeast, Titusville, and downtown in Gridley Park and out in Fairview.
Wow.
So it's, yeah.
When you talk about the whole orchestra, how many folks?
We'll probably get 45 to 50 people on that. We have
Amazing.
a huge tent, as you can see here. We have a huge tent we bring all across, and the whole orchestra will be there playing. Daniel will conduct those 3 concerts in the middle of July. And we always like to do one piece of music similar to Peter and the Wolf, where we sort of introduce the orchestra to families.
Okay.
So we encourage young children and students to come out, and we'll kind of go through a piece that talks about the different families of the orchestra. So we have Sean Clerkin, who'll be narrating, and we'll kind of go over here's the string section and the brass section and the wind section. It kind of tells the whole story with the piece.
That's really neat.
Nice. Wow. What kind of reaction do you get when folks, see you in their neighborhood, in their hometown?
It's awesome. It's fabulous because the tent is so close to everybody. We love our Warner Theater, but there's always sort of a buffer between the musicians, the front of the stage, and then where the seats are. For this, there are people incredibly close to us, especially in Northeast.
Is there interaction between the public and the musicians?
You hear the interplay. You can feel it because you're just that close. So when the audience is clapping along to a Sousa march, or you have any time that Daniel can be that close to an audience when he turns around and he engages.
Yeah.
And some of the audiences that we get in these concerts, like last year in Meadville, we had 1,100 people.
Oh my
in
goodness.
Diamond Park in Meadville.
Wow.
Which is fabulous. Northeast will bring about 800 people to each of those concerts as well. So you probably get into the 8,000 or 9,000 range by the time we're done all of these.
And they're
summer
free.
concerts. Exactly.
They're
all
free. You just bring something comfortable to sit on and enjoy your evening.
We love it. There's always different food vendors in all the different parks between food trucks and ice cream stands. And just when you get to see young kids dancing in the back of the park while you're hearing live music, you sort of pinch yourself and realize this is what we get to do. This is what music is about. We're not the Erie Phil because we play in the Warner. We're the Erie Phil because we do this all summer.
Yeah.
And really anything outside when we're just all itching to get out, it's so nice and so pleasant.
It really is. And it's one of the things we evolved to do during COVID, and it's one of the things we wanted to keep doing as we've just kind of progressed, coming back to what our normal concert season is. We never wanted to get away from these free concerts for the community.
Do you think that you wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for COVID, forcing you to think outside the box and do some of these?
I don't think it would have been this big. Before COVID, we had done the initial concerts in Northeast, which were beautiful, but then so many other groups saw we were doing in Northeast, so we really thank Northeast and our friends at Red Letter Hospitality and the Arts Council and the Community Foundation for starting this. But other communities then looked at that, were like, great, how can we find a way to bring this to the community? So each community gets their own business sponsors and community groups and foundations to help make it happen in each of the places we go.
That's terrific.
It's fascinating. 7 o'clock start time?
They all start at 7 o'clock, and again, the first one's this coming Wednesday with an incredible string quartet live in the park at 7 o'clock.
Love it.
Wonderful.
Steve, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For being here.
Thanks.
See you again.